Why not you? Why not see how far you can go? How much you can build, earn, and give? No one's coming to save you. It's you versus you. The pain, that's the price. The discipline, that's the path. The only cheat code is to do the work. So stop waiting. Day one isn't some day. It's now. Welcome to the 30-day message series, Grind Truth in Galatians 6:9. It's more than a series. This is a challenge. It's a call to men ready to confront the war within, body, mind, and soul. It's not about noise or bravado. It's about quiet mastery forged through pressure. Over the next 30 days, you'll step into a rhythm of spiritual pursuit, emotional honesty, and physical endurance, anchored in truths that are found in the Watchman's Liturgy by Brian Furlong. This is not self-help, it's self-discipline with God at the center. Each morning we rise as watchmen, alert, grounded, and ready. We fast, we lift, we reflect, we face our anger with truth. We break cycles of comfort. We grind not for glory, but for growth. We'll lean on scripture like Galatians 6:9, which says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And we'll echo the wisdom of the faithful who came before us. So if you're ready to train your body, steady your emotions, and sharpen your spirit, welcome. Your soul already knows this path. Let's walk it together, one day, one rep, one truth at a time. This journey starts where most men stop, in the discomfort. Today we do not run from the fire. We name it. Pain, frustration, anger. These aren't enemies. These are alarms. Alerting the watchman inside you to rise, observe, and respond. The Watchman's Liturgy calls us to stand alert, not just in the world, but in the war within. You are not here to coast. You are here to burn off falsehood and forge something holy from the heat. Psalm 4:4. Be angry and do not sin. Ponder in your own hearts on your beds and be silent. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." I used to bury my anger, pretend I was fine, but silence without reflection just delays the fire. So now I name it, and I suffer on purpose, loud and raw and real, and this is where I begin. Because anger is data, it's a signal. Most ignore it or obey it. Today, I acknowledge it and I direct it. I train it, I track it, I refine. Suffering is part of the design.
Well, wait a minute. This means that God is unrighteous. But the apostle does anticipate that response. And what is the teaching that engenders that response?
You know, guys, today was actually a very difficult day. There's a couple things that stuck out to me when I was doing the day 2 activity in the liturgy guide, and one of those was, "Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain." And I just realized how much of the grind that I've been putting in has been in vain, trying to, especially with finances, make things work, when in reality the thing that I have the most control over is just my ability to handle my own emotions. Pain is a compass. Today was a painful day. It was a growing day, and I got very angry. And angry isn't evil; it's directional. It shows you where your convictions live and where your wounds hide. The Watchman's Liturgy positions anger as a signal to stay alert, not a justification to lash out. Most of my life, I've just snapped without thinking, and I didn't realize at the time, but anger was never the problem. It was the flare, warning me that something deeper needed attention. And, so now I'm trying to treat anger like it's data. It's not something to hide, not something to post, but something to study, to bring before God. James 1 says it plain, "Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God." And that hit me hard, because the world taught me that being angry made me powerful. The word teaches that ruling my spirit is greater than conquering a city. So I breathe, I write, journal, I pray, not to look calm, but to become actually strong. And every time I hold the reaction and choose reflection, I trade chaos for clarity. And I learn to use pain as a compass and not a weapon. We're not here to avoid the fire. We're here to stand in it without burning down the village. Today was a test. I woke up early and I started the day right, and everything went wrong, except I was able to just collect the data of the anger without letting it get the best of me. It took me almost 40 years to start doing. And I'm already, this as soon as I started this 30-day challenge, immediately things got tougher, and I think that's just the way things go. But you just don't grow in comfort sometimes. You have to grow in the fire. I guess it's late on June 12th. It's like 9:24. And I'm running on fumes. It's been a long day, barely any sleep, and now I'm trying to wrap my head around this day 3 to 4 video. So I'm behind. I'll break the image, forsake the flesh. So let's see what sticks. Day 3 starts with Luke 16:10, being faithful in small things. I'm exhausted. I can barely keep my eyes open, but something in me says, just finish the video. Maybe it's exactly what you need. In the study, when it got to that part, kill the mirror, and they read Philippians 2:3 about putting others first. Then quoted Solzhenitsyn saying the line between good and evil runs through every human heart. Man, it hit me. It wasn't about blaming the world anymore. It was about facing the pride in my own reflection. I've been focused more on how I'm perceived than how I'm being transformed. I've let the fear of being misunderstood, pride in doing it all myself, and scattered focus shape how I show up, especially on my YouTube channel. So let me say what most people like me don't. I know I can look unfocused, I shift gears, I show up in 100 ways, but I'm not chaotic, I'm not flaky, and I'm not lost. I'm layered. You're looking at a builder, someone forging something real out of faith, failure, fitness, family, and fire. Yeah, it's hard to read sometimes, but that's the cost of living with nothing hitting. If you've ever asked, what's this guy about? Like, really about? Here's the answer. It's truth, grit, and legacy. I'm still figuring it out, but I'm done pretending. From here on out, expect the contradictions. Expect scripture and satire, broken edges, and deep roots. Expect honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, as my son would say, cringy, because that's who I am, and that's what the fire made. I had to finish both days today because I got behind yesterday, and day 4's dialogue, it also punched different. Matthew 16:24, take up your cross, and the Jordan Peterson, what's meaningful is rarely expedient. Yeah, the bed and the couch called, and YouTube and Instagram, but I'm really trying to kill my flesh right now, and it's really not enormously fun. I'm fasting right now, both spiritually but also physically, and with barely 5 hours to go before, actually not even that, 4.5 hours to go before I wake up again. It's brutal, but it's the cost of fitting growth into my lifestyle, and it's hard, but growth is hard. I keep zoning out at night instead of zoning in on what matters. Romans 12:2 said it plain, don't be conformed, but be transformed. So maybe instead of a dopamine scroll, maybe a 10-second prayer, maybe I delete a show and pick up a book and read something that is real and meaningful. And that part in the liturgy, day 4, about guarding my home and my kids, even half awake, I know that's the assignment. And comfort is the enemy of that assignment. All right, it's not that early today. It's 8:30 because it's Saturday, and I set no alarm, but I'm back at it doing cardio again. Yesterday was day 5, and honestly, it was a blur. Not because something dramatic happened, but because nothing did. It was going through the motions just to get through the day. I didn't fall apart. I didn't cave to cravings. I didn't snap, but I did feel the weight. I'm pushing hard physically, financially, emotionally. I've actually got a new business up and running, and I did it in less than a week, and I'm proud of that. But I'm also tired, and not the like I need sleep kind of tired, but my soul's tired. And I've been fasting, praying, saying no to alcohol, no to processed foods, no to sugar. I mean, unless it's from a vine. And even though I've been doing everything right, part of me still doesn't feel freedom in the way that I think I should. In some of my readings, Paul says that the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, etc. And I do feel some of that, but not all of it yet. And maybe it's because I've spent so much time of my life trying to earn everything. And that includes even God's grace. And that's something Reformed theology is really working on me about. God doesn't bless me because I perform. He blesses me because he's sovereign, because he's already chose me, and because he wants to, and it brings joy to him to do so. My job isn't to prove that I'm worthy. My job is to walk in the Spirit and trust that he's working even when I can't feel it. So yeah, day 5 was a heavy one, but it was also a quiet victory. And this morning, I'm not running away from anything. I'm walking towards something better. I plan to do day 6's video log this evening after the day transpires, so I'll see you back then. This week didn't finish the way I thought it would. Friday came and went like fog. I started a new LLC business, but otherwise, no highs, no crashes, just weight. Not physical exhaustion, something deeper, soul tired. And yet I didn't fall apart. I kept walking. I showed up without the feeling. I moved without the motivation, and that was the win. So Saturday didn't lighten the load. I started a website, social media, and marketing for my business. I finally slept, but I woke up at almost 8 a.m. I prayed, fasted, lifted, pushed like I was fighting something I couldn't name. But the harder I fought, the more I realized you can't force peace. You can't earn grace, and grinding harder doesn't make God move faster. Today, Sunday, I cracked. Anger slipped through. I used my words in anger. Comparison crept in. I found myself stacking my discipline and sacrifices against people who weren't built like me. And it actually broke me. Not because they were wrong, but because I was looking in the wrong direction. I have some regrets, and they aren't financial or physical. They're just my words. I wanted to win Father's Day with accomplishments. And if not, I didn't even feel like leaving the house. But God reminded me, you don't win by striving, you win by giving them your peace. Not control, not performance, just presence. So today I let go, not because I gave up, but because I finally let God in, and maybe the kids didn't notice. Maybe no one said, "Good job, Dad," but God noticed.